Hey guys, this is Chaney77, coach of the Brisbane Heatrans, back with you for the Week 9 battle against Vampire 18 for the UALB. Now, before I jump into the battle, I just want to mention that I'd made another transaction. I've swapped swapped Ninetales for Rotom, the electric ghost Pokemon. This was mainly because I had a bit of a speed tier jump, which allowed anything under base 100 to base 88, something like that, to run uh, the positive attacking nature, which did a lot of damage. So for example, Hydreigon last week, I was able to run modest life orb because there was nothing that outsped it or threatened to outspeed it. So I thought I needed to patch that up, and Rotom did that beautifully. With base 91, uh, forces those above it between 91 and 100 to run positive, because Speedy Rotom is a thing. It's quite good as a Scarfer, or can be used specs, and also defensively with access to Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp as well. So very useful Pokemon to have. It also gives me another Volt Switcher, another pivot Pokemon to get my wall breakers in there to do huge damage to the opposing team. So really happy with Rotom, um, which leaves me with basically uh, one Pokemon that's weak to ground. Um, if they don't have Mold Breaker. If they do, then we have Rotom, which will be hit, and Electros as well. But that's all right. Or if we saw Gravity as well, so that was interesting. But yeah, all my electric Pokemon float, so that helps with the ground type attacks. So this week we're up against Vampire 218, as I said. His team consisted of Regirock, Mega Diancie, Virizion, Vaporeon, Zangoose, Bastiodon, Darmanitan, Medicham, Hitmonlee, Probopass, Hippowdon, and Steelix. So the main things that I was worried about was Darmanitan and Zangoose, because as I said, Zangoose is base 90, or they're both base 90, which allows them to run Adamant, which means they can do a whole lot more damage. So Zangoose gets Toxic Boost as well, which boosts its attack by 50%, and because it's a normal type, gets Stab Facade, and it just would have done so much damage to my team. Um, the only thing that could really handle it was something outspeeding it and killing it, because nothing else could really take 2 hits from it. I think max defense, max HP, Cress would take 54% or something. I can't remember calc off the top of my head, but yeah, it just did a lot of damage. So I was happy not to see it. Also, Darmanitan would have done a lot of damage, with the only counter or check to it on my team being Gastrodon. So I had to bring Gastrodon, and I thought for that reason he would also bring Virizion to counter my um, Gastrodon, because nothing else can really sort of beat it 1v1. So I was expecting I was expecting Zangoose and Virizion, and very happy when I didn't see either of them on the other side of the field. So my Gastrodon set was a Rindo Berry set with HP Flying to catch that Virizion, Scald, Recover, and Toxic. Max HP, max defense. The Crest set, as I said, I wanted to speed creep the Adamant Zangoose, so it was actually an attacking Crest with the Chilean Berry, which halves normal type attacks. So it was Carmine, Moonlight, Grass Knot, and Psychic. I thought I could set up on a couple of different things. Steelix, for example, Hippowdon, Vaporeon. I could all just Carmine on them, provided they didn't have Toxic, and just beat his team after I get to +2 or +3. Skarmory was a mixed wall. Had enough special defense to be able to take 3 Moonblasts from Mega Diancie. And Mega Diancie, unless it runs HP Fire, doesn't really have many coverage moves, many hard hitting coverage moves for Skarmory, so that was a pretty nice check. And I can OHKO with Iron Head with no attack investment. Also had Stealth Rocks and Brave Bird for the Virizion, because I can wall the Virizion very nicely. Mega Heracross was a 252, 252 HP and defense. Didn't need any speed because I couldn't because he has a massive speed tier drop from his offensive and defensive Pokemon. So I didn't feel like I need to run any speed. And I can OHKO everything after I Swords Dance, which, yeah, I can set up against a few of his Pokemon, but then I have to take hits, which is why I put max defense in. Had Bullet Seed, Pin Missile, and Close Combat, even though I didn't really need Pin Missile. Knockoff might have been better, but I didn't see myself clicking any other moves apart from Close Combat and Bullet Seed, because it does so much work to his team. Tornadus was just a pivot set, just to pivot around, scout his Pokemon. Queen was a subset with Earth Power, Ice Beam, T-Bolt, and that would have done heaps of work, or it could have done heaps of work to his team, because nothing really resists any of his moves. So yeah, thought it would be able to set up a sub against a few of his Pokemon, like Steelix, if it didn't have Raw. So let's see how the battle went. I thought he might lead with Darmanitan if it was Scarfed. I mean, out of all of these, Skarmory is the best lead, but yeah, I just didn't want to be put on the back foot straight off the bat and have him lead a Scarfed Darmanitan and allowing him to U-turn freely or flare blitzing if he chose to. I just didn't want to have to make that decision. And also, Gastrodon did all right. Is actually fairly good against the rest of his, matched up fairly well against the rest of his team. If he wanted to lead with one of his rockers, he had Hippowdon, Steelix, and Mega Diancie can all set rocks. So I thought, can get a Skull Burn maybe. But if he has rocks on his Diancie, then it's just wasting him a coverage move, which it needs to hit my team. So I didn't think, he might have led it just to get off his Mega. But in any case, I thought Gastrodon was the best lead. And as you can see, he leads with Hippowdon. So I thought, alright, Scald, easy. Well, he sets up his rocks, but he actually switches out. And Vaporeon is immune. So at this point, I thought, let's just trade Toxics. I need to wear down this Vaporeon. As he goes for the Roar. So I thought, awesome, free Toxic on Vaporeon. Here, I don't really have much to hit the Vaporeon with, because I'm not carrying Grass Knot. So I just hit the U-turn button. And now I'm freely able to go into Nidoqueen and set up a sub and as he might have gone for the rocks, but as you can see, he went for Stone Edge, but it doesn't take out my sub. So I'm able to Oko with the Earth Power easily as he sends in his Vaporeon. Now carrying T-Bolt just for this Vaporeon, and then he reveals the he roars me out into Gastrodon. Now I thought, all right, he's shown Roar. Now he's gone for Wish. He's probably going to have Protect. That means Scald's going to be his last move. So I completely wall this Vaporeon. Um, and I'm just racking up toxic damage to stall, just so I can revenge kill it easier. Sends in Darmanitan here, and that's okay with me because Gastrodon is my dedicated check to Darmanitan. So Scald does nice damage, sends in his Vaporeon. I thought he might have done that, so I went for the HP flying just in case. Didn't want to heal up Vaporeon too much. And here, just because knowing he can't do anything, I hit the recover button, and he might have been baiting me with the Scald again, so I hit Toxic. Hit the Toxic button to get nice damage and residual damage onto the Hippowdon, as Hippowdon also reveals Roar. So that's two Pokemons with Roar on his, two Pokemons with Roar, and that was I asked him after, he told me after the game that that was mainly to deal with Cresselia, who really was fearful of Cress, which was fair enough. Because I did have a setup Cress, but as you can see, wouldn't have gotten the opportunities to set up on it, or to set up on any of his mons anyway, because they had Raw. So here, send out Skarmory just to deal with this Mega Diancie, because it's kind of my check to it. It subs, but doesn't really matter because I can knock out the sub easily with Iron Head. Diamond Storm does about a third, which allows me to take it out with another Iron Head. I didn't want him to rapid spin freely here, so he knocks off my Rocky Helmet, and I just Brave Bird to kill it, because I didn't want Darmanitan to come back in again. So he sends out Darm. It dies to the rocks, and now I get to freely kill Vaporeon with Bullet Seed. So a nice victory there for the Brisbane Heatrans again. Looking to continue our playoff push as we head into the last few weeks into the season. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a good one. See ya.